Well, hello and welcome people of the internet to Terralysia. As part of our ongoing Steam Next Fest coverage, we checked this one out quite a while ago. I think it was actually at the last Steam Next Fest that we actually played. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and check it out, see if anything has really changed. I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember. It's a lot of... I remember the core gameplay. I don't remember like all the microsystems though, so I'm not really going to be sure if anything's changed, but for people who, you know, do, well, here you go. This one I remember really enjoying, actually. It's, first of all, it's strikingly beautiful. I mean, if you look at it, it's in Unreal Engine, and, you know, these three, like, Bullet Heavens, third-person shooter type games are ones that we don't see all too often, obviously, because they take a little bit longer to create than the pixel art that we see a lot of times in Bullet Heavens, but it's certainly nice when we see a pretty-looking game. Not ever going to turn down some pretty-looking games. So as far as combat goes, we do have two abilities. So we have our first fireball ability, which I'm shooting out as our main attack. We also have a secondary charge ability, Flame Ward, which does shoot out a blast, kind of AoE damage. Sometimes it has some trouble hitting enemies, especially if you're trying to like shoot down the middle and get them. So we'll take the fragments. Fragments here are part of meta progression, and we just have to get a bunch of these to... We'll take a look at meta progression later once we get back to the hub. But yeah, so we have two different attacks here, and then we're going to pick up different level ups as we level up. I'm going to take Blast Sphere here, really going for damage. I've done a couple kind of test runs here just to kind of get a feel for the game again, and it does feel like going damage is kind of more or less the correct way, which obviously, you know, if you've played other Bullet Heavens, is kind of the name of the game here, is go damage. But recovery and defense in this game is not that generous. So there's no real like destructibles on the map that will give you health potions. Occasionally enemies will drop them, but it's more rare than not. There are a couple ways to heal. So there is the ability that we have on us life now, which is Life Leech, I think it's called, where if we're close to enemies, it will kind of siphon their life to us. Life Leech, there we go. We're going to keep getting that up. Because it's very good. It just hits enemies that are around us, and the damage, if we can kind of scale up, will be very beneficial to us. Okay, so we need to go protect the stranger. Now, we need to do this fairly quickly. While there is no timer on the screen, we do have quests that we're going to need to complete, and you are in a horrible place, my friend. Absolutely awful location. Because we got to come up here. We have to defend you. And I guess I can get the high ground, which does... I have the high ground, which does kind of help us a bit. But yeah, you're also kind of blocked by this wall here. We'll see how that ends up coming to be. Yeah, you got a spider on you. So if we lose this objective, we don't necessarily just lose the run. We're going to have to find him again and protect him. However, it does kind of like... in terms of like secondary mechanics, does kind of lose you the run, basically, because the way the enemy spawns work, as far as I can tell, is the longer you're in the game, the more likely it is that higher level enemies are going to spawn, which is kind of par for the course, right? So if you end up having to redo a quest objective, you're gonna have to redo it with harder enemies, and that's not always a great thing to do. So let's go ahead and... God, we got to get this guy clear, though. We can't have a start like this, so let's go ahead and take out this. Unfortunately, he does kind of block some of our attacks here, so let's take out these spiders. We got this guy coming up in on us. I'm going to take the lightning strike here, do a little bit of random AoE damage, clear out those guys. We got some spiders over here. So that blue timer underneath his health is how long we need to protect him. It's about, I would say, a minute, maybe a minute and a half. But we really just got to keep enemies off him for the most part. We got to keep him nice and healthy. I'm going to keep taking our fireball damage since that is our main source of damage here. It's the one that we can control at least. And we kind of use that fire ward or flame ward to kind of keep enemies off him. I'm going to take the blast sphere, some additional for projectiles. Come on, take the spider. Nice. Okay, I got to focus on these guys again. Let's hope I can hit multiple here. Nice, we did. Take out the spider. Now we have a mage on us, which is going to be tough because I do want to focus him down, but unfortunately I have to focus on the enemies that are on this guy right now because we can't really let him die. Let's go for... I guess we'll just go for black hole here. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. God, please don't die. Okay, mage, please don't hit him in the back. Spider, come on. Do your homework. Do your homework. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so he takes out everyone here. Jesus, that was close. So he takes out everyone around him. Let's go ahead and take, let's just take the defense. And now we got to go find the portal. And this is going to kind of start the quest line that we need to do. I'm going to take magic missile here. So once we make our way to this portal, basically the quest in the game as far as it is right now in the demo is just to take out or to sacrifice enemies to pylons. So there's going to be a big AoE and we just need to kill enemies in the area. There are 5 of them, and that is kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot, especially since it's the same thing. You basically do the same thing 5 times over. You know, it does kind of drone on, but I'm assuming the game is going to be dropping into, I believe, early access here in a couple weeks, I think it is. And so maybe we'll see some new stuff. I think that this is still a pretty early version of the demo. I know it's kind of been updated here and there. I'm not sure that necessarily a bunch of like systems or features have been added. It's mostly just kind of been fixes and balancing. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so that is... Okay, let's talk about movement here for a second, because I think that's important with this game. Movement is to me, feels very floaty. There is... well, let's say it like this. There's momentum to movement. So if I'm here sprinting, you know, I can't, like, bank worth a damn, right? It's just not going to happen. So... Okay, and I also have enemies behind me that we need to be really careful about. Okay, let's go ahead and start working down enemies in these pylons here. So because of that, and there's no dodge, there's no dash, there's no blink or teleport or anything, you can get into some trouble. So I definitely think that the game could benefit from having some kind of, you know, blink system, something to give you a little bit of evasion here. Especially when, you know, let's talk about sight lines. This is obviously a third-person... Okay. Third-person game, right? As opposed to more top-down, which we're used to seeing in Bullet Heavens. I'm going to go for increased damage and range here. And so enemies can show up behind you. And if that's the case, you are going to take some damage. And so, you know, I would like to have some way... Let's go ahead and blast you. Good Lord, we're taking a bunch of hits, man. And the damage feels really high. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and dodge all these. Can we just, like, start sucking up some life here? Can we get some levels? I need my life leech leveled up, really, is what we need here. Like, this enemy is... Jesus. Oh, thank God he didn't punch me. Okay, I gotta take out this goblin. These shamans here... Like, that is so much damage, man. Alright, let's go ahead and redo this. Let's restart. Actually, I'm going to exit because I'm so close to getting another upgrade here. So the way the upgrades work, basically, it's a little weird when you first look at it. Basically, even the second time when I came in and was starting to play this, I was like, I don't understand this. This does not mean that this memory is, well, it is unlocked, but it's not like this is a slot for the unlock. This life leech is the memory one. So these two are paired together. These two are paired together. It's a weird UI. So like right now, we're going to go memory 5. It's going to unlock the thing that is here. And to unlock it, we have all these shards over here, which I think might be like tied to a story of some kind. They just kind of give you a quote. And then you move past it. And then you come over here. And now you can see underneath memory 5, now there's damage phaser. Increased chance for projectiles to pass through enemies after damage. Oh, that's kind of good. So yeah, now we're working on memory 6. And I think it's literally just in the bottom right, you can see how many shards we have. We have 141. I think it's just like basically every requirement needed for the next memory is higher. But it's not like you have to pay into it and then you restart. So... if, for example, memory 5 was 130 shards and the next one is 150, you just need an additional 20 to get from that memory 5 to memory 6. Okay, let's give this another shot. Let's see if we're going to survive. Survival has been very tough for me in this game. Yeah, with the movement being kind of slow and, like I said, floaty, and also having enemies that can shoot you from behind. There's another mechanic that we didn't really take a look at in our first run. I don't know that I don't want that. Man, this is all really bad. Okay, I'm gonna take the damage phaser and kind of prep for later. I don't like the, what was it? Was it magic missile? It just shoots right in front of you, and I'm not necessarily sure I care for that much. I'm gonna take the increased fireball damage. You might be looking at me and I'm like, you know, Ganyonz, you just said there wasn't a lot of healing. However, you just passed a skill that drops health orbs when enemies die. That's true. It does not heal even remotely enough to be worth it, in my opinion. I've tried it. I've tried leveling it up, and it takes about 5 or 6 of those orbs to recover the damage of one enemy hit. It's, I don't know. It feels a little bit like a trap. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I do think that healing needs a buff in this game pretty badly, because again, it's one of those things where, like, you can make a bullet heaven challenging, right? I'm not saying that you can't have a hard game. However, difficulty and difficulty based on balance and difficulty based on I don't want to say mechanics, because it's not a mechanic, but it is a mechanic element of the game. I'm talking about the combination of visibility and movement, right? The fact that enemies can show up, like if you're playing a top-down bullet heaven, you can see 360 degrees around you, right? We already kind of talked about the visibility of this bullet heaven, where you're less visible. You can only see in front of you. You can't see behind you, as opposed to a typical bullet heaven where you can see 360 degrees around you. So when you have an element like that, you can get shot in the back. You know, obviously we can assume that there are enemies all around us. However, the mages specifically will teleport, right? So even if you take into account, like, you're taking stock of, okay, I have two, like right now, let's say I have 2 mages in front of me, just hypothetically. Turn around, I'm like, all right, I'm going to shoot these guys. Well, they might teleport over here, and now all of a sudden I'm getting shot from the right. So even though you might have very good spatial awareness, there's still some elements that make it a bit difficult to, like, dodge all the enemies, all the projectiles that may be around you. And taking that into consideration, you're going to take some kind of accidental damage that wasn't necessarily your fault. And because of that, I feel like healing should be a little bit more generous. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be how, like, increasing the amount a healing potion heals. It really just needs to be the quantity that it drops. And I think you can do it a couple different ways. Like, for example, you have all these red and blue mushrooms around. You could totally make it so that those, you know, you shoot one and it heals you, or it gives you, recharges stamina or something. Just so that way there's kind of something else to do, something else to hunt, to pick up, to give you some more resources. Because right now, there's really nothing that you can shoot that will give you health. You kind of just have to hope that the enemies give that to you. Let's see. I kind of want to take Tiger's Eye. Yeah, we're just going to take that. Increase the damage of all my spells. Because we just got to get things dead. And of course, now this is the run that I've gotten 2 health potions in a row. Like, that never happens. It never happens. I think this might be like my, I don't know, 5th or 6th run today. And that just never happens. We're going to take Fireball here. Definitely want to level up Fireball. What do we got? Yeah, we'll just go for Flame Ward. I guess maybe I should just gone for Tiger Eye. Well, leveling up Flame Ward will give it new abilities, so I should probably just work on leveling that up. Oh, I almost forgot. The mechanic that we didn't talk about because it wasn't relevant in the first run, knockback, or more specifically, knockdown, is a mechanic in this game. It's one that I really don't like and really don't think it should be in this game, or at least if it is, it should probably be changed quite significantly. Enemies can knock you down. Now, there is a talent that you can take. Jesus Christ, this mage is gonna... Let's see here. Let's go for magic missile. Oh, nice. We won. I didn't realize we were that close to getting it beat. If you get knocked down, there is a time where basically you're on the ground. You can still get hit while you're on the ground, though. So shoot 3 projectiles. Oh, that's pretty good. So basically you can take, for example, this is another kind of like combining it in with the fact that we can't really see around us, is that you could get shot from the back. And I've noticed that it's mostly mages that can knock you down. You can get shot in the back, get knocked down, and then take an additional hit or two from an enemy that's maybe in front of you. And I don't think that, again, I don't think that's necessarily a fair or fun mechanic to play with. You know, getting hit from the back, okay, that's one thing. You're playing a 3D game, so obviously you need to be aware of your surroundings. But being punished for that is something that I don't think is very player-friendly. And I've had a number of situations where I've gotten knocked down from like half health and just died because my character didn't get up in time, and I got shot multiple more times. Okay, let's keep moving. We gotta find this portal so that way we can spawn the pylons. And then we can keep going for tougher enemies show up. Alright, so let's make our way over to this pylon first. Man, let's see if we can't blast this mage, though. Okay, so we got rid of the mage. Nice. Although there's another one. Literally, there's more literally right in front of me. Well, let's just make our way here. We gotta come in here anyway. Man, I certainly wish that we could get a leech life. Leech, like, again, that area damage is kind of important, although Fireball's kind of doing the work, but I need some way to recover my health. So the next time we get a more defensive upgrade, I'm probably going to go with that. But we're kind of struggling here to level up a little bit. I've noticed that not all enemies give you experience. Oh boy, this goblin has to die. Yeah, that one would be very troublesome. Not every enemy drops experience, which is a bit of an odd choice to me. Especially, you know, if you get into situations... There's the leech life. Okay, we're taking that. Now we can level that up. Because you can get into situations where, like, if you're going from objective to objective, it's like, should I go out of my way to fight more enemies? Because maybe they're not going to drop experience for me. And maybe it's, you know, I'm better suited just running to the next objective. That being said, the flip side of that is that enemies that do drop experience drop quite a bit. Now, obviously, they're only dropping 1 crystal. I don't mean they're dropping a large number of crystals, but the experience that you do get from enemies, I'm kind of looking for chests as well. Oh, there's a chest way back there. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to run back there and grab it, because if it's a skill level up, I want it. And I also have a bunch of, a couple these purple crystals. Yeah, there are a lot of experience. There's also a magnet, which is great. Let's go ahead and actually get some... We'll get a little bit of defense here built up. And we got some healing. Very nice. Let's go ahead and get that life leech up. Oh, we actually have a... I didn't realize there was a pylon over here, so this is actually perfect direction for us. Yes, we will take the flame ward. Yeah, these guys are very tanky and can be very problematic for me. But I think I've never actually, to be completely honest, I've never leveled up Fireball this high, and it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good for me. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Get out of there, get out of there. Sorry, I'm focusing very, very hard right now. I'm in the zone. Yeah, I don't know. I think this guy is summoning enemies, but I've noticed that I can't defeat him. I've tried multiple times, and maybe I just don't have the damage for it. I don't know if he's supposed to be beaten, but yeah, have never actually defeated that guy. So I think he's just kind of there. Okay, let's go for... Let's go for magic missile. We already have a chance to phase through enemies, so just having a higher chance I don't think is super necessary. I'd rather just hit more things. Like these mages. Like, get out of my face. Oh god, 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 okay. Nope, we keep moving. We keep moving. Okay, goblins gotta die, though. Yeah, goblins trouble. So goblins shoot really fast projectiles, and they're kind of difficult to dodge. Here... I'm gonna keep taking magic missile. Okay, let's just move. Let's just move fast. Stay on the move. Stay on the move. If someone could drop a health potion or like a magnet, either would be fantastic. Ooh, purple crystal. We'll take those. Okay, make sure there's no one behind us. Good. Okay, let's come around here. Okay, keeping my eye out. Ooh, see? Gotta be careful of that. Yep, take out the mage. Move away from Mushroom Man. Another Goblin Mage up here. Let's take them out. Okay, Mushroom Man, time for you to die. We took a hit from something. That's not great. I wanted Fireball, but it gave me Leech Life, so I'm going to take it. Or Life Leech. I'm going to keep saying Leech Life because I'm so... Pokemon muscle memory, guys. Pokemon muscle memory. It's going to be with me until the day I die. Oh, oh, oh. Grab the magnet. That's better than grabbing the crystals. That is much better than grabbing the crystals. Okay, let's go for... I'm going to keep getting up Fireball. Life Leech. Perfect. Life Leech. Right, I just want more range, so that way it's easier for me to leech life off of enemies. So that way I don't have to get as close and risk taking damage. Okay, let's... Ooh, what do we want here? Ooh, one extra projectile? Yeah, let's keep getting that up. This is kind of one of those moments that I wish there was either a... maybe not a DPS meter, but something that told me, like, what is the damage increase on my magic missiles? So that way I know, like, is it worth it to kind of focus the one ability, or is it more worth it to kind of spread out my levels? Because I don't really know. Yeah, okay, dodge that. Okay, let's just get to some open area here. Oh, 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 okay, okay. Yep, floaty movement, floaty movement. Be careful of the floaty movement. Okay, we have a bunch of XP in here that I need to get. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it all, though. That's the problem. Okay, we at least got a level. Now I'm going to move forward. Let's get Magic Missile again. I love it when enemies spawn right in my face. Sarcasm. Oh, shoot. There's a Goblin Mage. Okay, there's actually... Is there 2 Goblin Mages? Or I think there's just 1. Where is he? Ah, right in front of me. Yep, there's 2. There's actually 3. There's one right behind me right now. Yep, literally just tried to shoot me in the back, but he died. Okay, we get rid of that one. What else we have here? I'm going to go for defense here. Wait, is that it? Okay, we have a cutscene. Okay, Spider Lady. Thank you for playing. Wait, there's no boss? I figured we would have to fight the boss. Ah, oh well. If you enjoyed the demo, please consider supporting us in a wish list on Steam. Well, there we go. There we go. Successful run. I will be honest, this is not, like I said, this is not my first of the night. This is not my second or my third. I've played a bunch tonight, so I'm happy that we finally got a winning run. Holy crap. Or at least winning in terms of the demo. So what, okay, so let me think about this. Let me think about what, because, so I've recorded this a couple times. The first time I wasn't necessarily sure of my thoughts, and I had some technical issues, so I had to re-record this. And so I want to kind of compare and contrast my previous runs to this one. And I think, honestly, the thing that, the only real there's two things I did a little bit differently. The first is kind of focusing on my main attack, which seems kind of obvious saying it out loud now. However, there is a caveat here in that in the past couple runs I did tonight, I did take Fireball whenever it was offered to me. So I think in this run, I just got a bit luckier and got the Fireball upgrade more often because there's just no manipulation of abilities. And so you're kind of just, it's whatever is given to you. I wish that I could see a breakdown of what skills did the most damage. Obviously, something like Fireball is going to be a little bit skewed, right? Because it's going to be subject to manual aim as opposed to everything else that's just kind of going automatically. But that said, I would like to compare damage on the more passive abilities. So for example, how good was Magic Missile? Was it better than Life Leech? Was it better than Lightning Strike? Was it better than I forgot what it was called, but the bombs that we were throwing in front of us? I'm assuming it would be because it's actually targeting enemies as opposed to the bomb, which just kind of hits an AoE. But overall, so I didn't really get a chance to talk in the game. I talked about some of my thoughts, but I'm going to kind of recap here some of my thoughts. I think I probably spoke about some of these the first time I played as well, because I think a lot of my thoughts are probably going to remain the same. But in case you didn't see that video when I first released it, in case you're a new viewer here, or maybe in case you're the developer watching and want to get somebody else's thoughts, as a fellow creator myself, you can never have two, well, that's mostly sometimes not true, but you can't really have enough criticism and ideas, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean you need to take every idea to heart and do all of them, but if enough voices say the same thing, then perhaps it's something that people want. So I'll express my opinions here. So we already talked about movement. Movement I feel is just a little, it's floaty. Like going from start to stop, there's a bit of a delay, which again, it doesn't feel like it's super strong here when there's no enemies around, but when you do have enemies around, because there's no dash, I think if there was a dash or evade of some kind, I would be much more willing to forgive it, because just right now, there's just not a lot of forgiveness in that sense. So that, and I say that to every single bullet heaven. I always want a dash of some kind of an evasive maneuver. If you get into an oh shit situation, just give me a panic button that I can smack in and move out of the way. So that being said, so that's the movement. Visibility, right? You got to take a lot of decision making, or you have to weigh a lot of decision making in how mechanics work with the visibility, right? It's one thing if you're playing a bullet heaven from the top down, right? So let's look at this so I'm going to use this log here as an enemy, right? This is about, I think for the most part, I don't think I was playing, hello booty, I don't think this is the angle I was playing at, right? If I'm shooting at enemies, I was probably playing at about this angle. So if that's the case, when does that log or that enemy stop being in my field of view? Well, it stops right here, right? That's the edge of where the enemy can be, and I cannot see him. How close is that to me? Well, that's pretty close. That's, that's close enough. Let's put it right back. That if I charge up my attack, which has both knockback to the enemy, but also pushback to me, I've just been hit by the enemy. So the fact that, first of all, since we're right here, I don't really like the fact that this attack pushes me back. It can be like kind of cute to use the dodge attacks, but I think overall it probably just shouldn't, because situations exactly like that can happen, you know. So we go back to this position here where that's where I think that's about where we were, so I can adjust the camera, right? So the enemy's not in my line of view. I can't see them. I can still get shot from here. Melee attacks obviously can't, but if I'm backtracking, right, I'm walking away from enemies, it's only, you know, a couple steps until I get hit from that direction. Whereas if I'm playing a top-down bullet heaven, it's like, oh, I can see him right there. Well, I know that now I need to go this way. And I can kind of adjust preemptively before I have him in my line of sight. And so that being the case as well, discussing enemies from the back. Another reason why again, I already kind of talked about this, but a reason why I don't like the knockdown ability is that if an enemy is, you know, let's say right where that log is, right now, barely outside of our field of view, and I get shot with a projectile from there, I get knocked down for 3 or 4 seconds, well, I can get hit another multiple times while I'm down. And it's not that I didn't dodge away from the enemy's projectile, because I didn't even see that the enemy was there. So it's kind of a punishing mechanic for... It's a punishing mechanic for something that is not intentional in the game, right? It's one thing if you have a 360 view of the entire battlefield and you see from, you know, the top left corner, or like where that blue crystal is, it's like, oh, that's a mage and I know the mage might knock me down. Okay, well, you can play around that. But it's like same game, right? You're playing, okay, I see the blue mage, and now, okay, that log enemy, he might... And then it's like from here, it's like, well, I don't even know the log enemy is there. So how can I play around something if I don't know it's there, right? And again, it's like you can have good spatial awareness to say like, okay, I'm attacking the log. Okay, I got to spin around 180. I know the log is there. Turn around. Where's the log? Oh, he teleported over there. And I didn't see that. So it's another thing to just like, you know, have your vision be kind of a stressor of other mechanics, and you kind of got to, I think, take into account the fact that you can't see enemies behind you. There's no like mini map would be kind of hard to quickly identify who's behind you and where projectiles are coming from. And again, without a dodge, you know, even if you were playing for whatever reason like very spammy and you even see a projectile around you, you might not have time to move out of the way because movement is kind of a bit delayed. But that being said, you know, I did find a bit more success in actually upgrading the same abilities multiple times, which again, it seems very straightforward, but I was surprised at how much easier this game felt when I focused really two abilities, right? Fireball and the magic missile. It felt, I will say, compared to the other runs that I've done, it felt significantly easier. In the past runs, I've pretty much struggled to get through the first, maybe even the second pylon. In this game, we just kind of flew right through it. And really, we had like that kind of one-ish scare where we got to about half health, but after that, not really a challenge. I shouldn't even say that. It was a challenge, but comparatively speaking, it didn't feel like a challenge, right? Does that make sense? Still a challenge compared to what it was before, not as challenging. What else was there? Yeah, you know, we mentioned the UI here. I think needs to be cleaned up and clarified a little bit. It's a little bit confusing that the skill you unlock has the same, or I should say it like this. The memory that is tracking the ability that you're unlocking has the same exact UI. Or I shouldn't say same exact because there's obviously some difference in the scatters here. But it's not even that it's consistent between like ability to ability, right? You have this triangle here where there's none up here, but because it's the exact same, it's like, oh, I'm clicking on it, but it's not unlocking. I'm at 100%. How do I unlock this memory 5? Well, you have to go over here to unlock it, but then there's no like indicator that these two things are connected unless you put it together after the fact. So I do wish that was changed a little bit, so it was a little bit more clear that like this memory is unlocking this thing, this memory is unlocking this thing. I mean, you could even do something like just, I don't know why I always put my hand up to the screen to like indicate where things are, and it's like, you guys can't see that. Like, if you got rid of this space in between here, just push them together, and then it's like, oh, these things are connected, right? Something like that. Other than that, is there anything? I mean, I'll talk on the graphics. There's nothing I really have bad about the graphics. I guess maybe if you wanted to, you could say that the bright parts of the image are too bright. Honestly, that could be something to do with the HDR setting. I don't think I even have HDR settings set up. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, I have that off. Display profile. I have I even have low dynamic range. Maybe it's because I have low dynamic range. Hold up. Can we do what do we got? HDR. Is that going to screw up everything? Let's just do this real quick, because I don't know what all these mean. I'm going to be completely honest. I should. I'm a video guy. I literally edit commercials, but... Okay, never mind. I broke it. Never mind. I broke it. Okay, let's go back here. We have Rec 709. Oh, wait. What does it look like in Rec 709? Hold up. Does it look as... Hang on. We're going to jump in real quick here. Let me see what it looks like in Rec 709. I'm assuming it's going to look the same. Yeah, like you could argue that maybe the bright parts of the image are too bright, but that's like I mean, we're really nitpicking. Oh, you know what? I think that actually, hold up. I think that actually looks better. Hang on. Let's give it a little quick switcheroo here. Display profile, sRGB. Oh, never mind. I'm full of crap. It looks exactly the same. All right. Are you sure you want to quit the game? Wait, are you going to actually quit the game for me? I don't want to quit. I just want to go back to the main menu. Well, anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one for Terralysia. That's a great way to finish it off. Just completely ragdoll into the ground. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Until, if early access comes out and there's like new characters and stuff, I'll definitely return to check out the new character. I'm hoping for some new skills as well that we can play with. Maybe a new map too. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this one develop over time, and hopefully, you know, some of the changes that I've kind of requested, not necessarily because I requested them, but, you know, I'm just kind of hoping that some features that I want come in the game, you know? But guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, would you please consider, that's not what I say, my brain, I'm like shooting things, and my brain's like, hey, you know the thing that you say every time you end a video? You're going to forget what it is. No, I say, would you kindly smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more roguelike action. But guys, that's going to do it for me today. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.